Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, the latest on former President Donald Trump's indictment, including when the specific charges will be announced.
Plus, at the legislature, a package of bills is looking to make Nebraska schools safer. We'll tell you how.
But first tonight, today is Transgender Day of Visibility. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today, the LGBTQ+ community and supporters from across the country are holding rallies to celebrate.
Including Nebraska. A rally is set to take place at the state capitol here in Lincoln this evening. Channel 8's Philip DeTopomo is there ahead of the event and joins us live with more. Philip.
Thank you, Rod. Yes, of course, you can see behind me there are protesters here, I should say protesters, but rally members here setting up for a rally that's going to be kicking off at about 5:30 here in front of the state capitol. Now, like I said, just a few people trickling in so far, but we're expecting more people on both sides of the aisle here, whether for or against. There were a few legislative bills that we had discussed that potentially a lot of people are unhappy with, specifically LB 574, which prohibits gender-affirming care, LB 575, which basically prohibits biological males participating with trans males in athletics, and then of course a third bill, which is LB 371, which essentially makes it illegal to perform drag shows in front of people under the age of 21. So a lot to talk about here. There's a lot to cover. We'll have a little bit more about the rally while it's going on at 6, but for right now things are currently quiet. It's very windy out here, but we'll have more for you coming up at 6. We'll have the full story coming up at 10. Back to you.
All right, Philip DeTopomo reporting live from the State Capitol building. We'll talk to you at 6 o'clock. A former transgender student journalist is suing a Nebraska school district for shutting down the school's newspaper. The claim says the district violated the students' First Amendment rights after they covered LGBTQ+ topics.
The ACLU of Nebraska filed the lawsuit against Grand Island Northwest Public Schools this morning in federal court. It all stems from last year when the school district shut down the paper called the Viking Saga. The ACLU says the school discriminated against the students' rights to have a free viewpoint, and students were also told they couldn't use their pronouns or chosen names in their author bylines. The transgender student suing the district is Marcus Pennell.
It was like the first real pushback from teachers and admin I have faced, or from the school I really faced. We knew they were trying to restrict the LGBT content, so we were like, we're going to put more LGBT content.
Pennell has since graduated and is a student at UNO, but argues all students have a right to be who they are and to write about their lives. The newspaper was reinstated late last year. Now to some news in the legislature. Senators are looking into ways to make Nebraska schools more secure.
A package of bills being proposed has support across the political spectrum. Channel 8's Veronica Barreto has more on that.
Earlier this week, the Education Committee advanced this bill to address school safety in Nebraska. This comes just days after the recent school mass shooting. The measure includes recommendations from Nebraska's School Safety Task Force. The group was formed after last year's school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Under the proposal, a $15 million grant program related to security infrastructure would be created. This includes surveillance equipment and door locking systems.
We've just experienced our 89th school shooting this year. That's 89 school shootings out of 86 days. I think that's all that needs to be said. That's why we have to make sure that our schools are safe for kids.
The bill also includes funding to continue the Safe to Help NE hotline, a tool to report suspicious behavior. Coming up at 6 o'clock, I'll have more on how this bill would allocate some funding to increase the number of mental health professionals in our school communities. Reporting in Lincoln, Veronica Barreto, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Veronica. Lawmakers are also deciding who should direct a new broadband expansion program.
More debate is going on today on LB 683, and senators have narrowed it down to two choices to direct the $400 million in federal grant funds that is set aside for the expansion. It's between the Nebraska Public Service Commission, which currently manages the program, or a person appointed by the governor. Governor Pillen used an executive order to create a new broadband office back in January. LB 683 would eliminate the commission's ability to give a quarter of the federal funds to underserved areas of the state. If you're looking to buy a used car, now may be the best time to do it. Prices have come down recently, but dealers aren't sure how long that'll last.
Last year, the average price of a used car nationwide was $31,000. This month, more like $27,000. That's down about 14% in a year. And now, while the prices of new vehicles, they've gone up by nearly 6%.
They were going up, and then we're starting to see them slowly go back down. It's about as even as the house market right now. You never really can tell. Interest rates are going up ever since the Feds raised the rates. I mean, it's continuing to go up, but you just never know what's going to happen.
Wilson says supply of used cars is getting thinner, and it's getting harder for dealers to find and buy cars while keeping prices low for customers. We're going to have much more on this story coming up tonight on our newscast at 6 o'clock. The Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach Center is reopening the Hope Garden this spring, and it's looking for a few helping hands this season.
Last year, the garden faced major challenges with watering issues and the summer heat wave, but despite those challenges, it still produced nearly 100 fresh vegetables for families in Lincoln. The director of Hunger Relief and Volunteerism at Matt Talbot says all are welcome to help those in need.
We welcome anyone to come. You don't have to be a master gardener to come. Just the love of being outside and helping us take a lot of pride on our, with our grounds and our building. And we can't do that alone. We definitely need volunteers to help us.
Revitalize the garden this season. Can find more information on our website, klkntv.com.
All right, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins now with your first forecast. I know they're dealing with some severe weather to the south of the United States, southern part of the United States. How are we doing here?
We're actually dealing with winter. We've got some snow that's moving in from the northwestern portion of the state, and that's going to be making its way east. It won't quite make it to southeast Nebraska, but there it is. Some parts of the Panhandle and north central Nebraska woke up to 3 to 6 inches of snowfall this morning, and there's still some coming down just south of Valentine and just north of North Platte. So we'll zoom in here and just kind of show you a little closer view. That little bit of a band of snow from just south of Valentine, from Sheridan County all the way east to just west of O'Neill. And as it makes its way further south, it kind of runs into some slightly warmer temperatures. But Beatrice, just seeing a mixture of clouds and sun. Shones Roofing at South 6th Street, and Perkins, pretty quiet and relatively mild compared to other parts of the state. 53 in Lincoln, 53 in Nebraska City, 56 in Hebron, looks to be one of the warmer spots. 20s in north central and northwestern Nebraska. Thedford, Valentine, O'Neill, Chadron, all in the 20s. It is windy out there too. Sustained winds out of the north and west at 20 to 30 miles per hour. They are gusting a little bit higher, well, a lot higher. 46 mile per hour wind gusts in Grand Island, 37 miles per hour in Lincoln, 39 mile per hour wind gusts in Hebron. So a lot of wind out there. Hour by hour, those temperatures will slowly drop into the lower 30s. The bad news is the wind will be higher than the actual temperature. We'll see 40 to 45, maybe 50 mile per hour wind gusts as we head through the overnight and into early tomorrow morning. That will likely give us a wind chill in the teens. So it is going to be a cold night tonight, a windy night tonight. The good news is things slow down, the wind slows down, and the temperatures start to rise. More on that in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Rusty. And with today's windy forecast, Lincoln Fire and Rescue is asking everyone to be extra safe if you plan to maybe use your fire pit this weekend.
LFR says they need to be at least 25 feet away from any structure, and mobile ones should be at least 15 feet away. They also aren't allowed on decks. This comes as LFR just responded to a fire caused by a fire pit last night. Now, they say it wasn't a serious blaze, but they wanted to extend the warning to everyone. Lincoln police say they found the man they say beat another man out of his vehicle and took off with it.
That's right. 32-year-old Lance Buss is charged with robbery tonight. The incident happened Wednesday afternoon near 33rd and Dudley. The victim told police that Buss jumped in front of his vehicle and asked for a ride. Well, he let him in, and then he says Buss started punching him and stole his car. Police say they found Buss and the car near his home last night.
A three-alarm fire broke out at an Omaha recycling plant on Wednesday night. It was called in at 10:30, but the fire wasn't under control until 7 a.m. First Star Recycling believes it was caused by a lithium-ion battery. The Omaha Fire Department is still conducting their own investigation. In national news today, more than 30,000 officers in New York were directed to come to work in uniform. This comes as the city ramps up security in response to former President Trump's indictment.
A grand jury in New York voted yesterday to indict Trump for his alleged role in a hush money scheme back in 2016. Further details on the case, including the actual charges Trump is facing, remain sealed until his arraignment on Tuesday. Trump has already taken to Truth Social, calling the case a witch hunt.
His attorney says the indictment caught Trump and his legal team by surprise, and they are not sure what to expect other than an arraignment, but they have a plan for next week's courtroom proceedings.
We'll go in there and we'll proceed to see a judge at some point, plead not guilty, start talking about filing motions, which we will do immediately.
Everyone who is out there talking about this being a political case or a witch hunt are going to be sorry when they actually read the substance of what these prosecutors have developed in several criminal charges.
Legal experts say we won't know the exact details of the charges until they are made public, but there is potential for a felony charge. Still to come on the news tonight, the first funeral is being held for a victim of the Nashville school shooting.
We'll have the latest on that story right after the break.
It would appear that
The butler.
The community holds its first of 6 funerals after the shooting at Covenant Christian Elementary. Community members are gathering to mourn 9-year-old Evelyn Dickhouse and preparing for another funeral tomorrow for Hallie Scruggs, also 9 years old.
Today's service comes after police released several 911 calls, one of which was from the school's lead pastor and Hallie's father, Chad.
I'm the lead pastor. I'm going that way now.
You may not want to go there without police.
Now, there is no indication that Scruggs at the time knew that his daughter was one of the victims. Meanwhile, some residents took to the state capitol building today. They were protesting legislation that would expand access to firearms. Republicans in the state have since delayed the hearings on that bill. And while many students and parents in Tennessee call on state politicians to end gun violence, lawmakers in D.C. are largely partisan on the issue.
He's got no solutions to the problem. He's trying to politicize it, and he's trying to undermine the constitutional right of law-abiding citizens, and it's not going to happen.
Extreme MAGA Republicans should either join House Democrats in confronting the gun violence epidemic in America or get out of the way. It's that simple.
A study conducted by the Giffords Law Center to prevent gun violence suggests more permissive gun laws lead to more gun deaths. Research says gun violence is now the leading cause of death in children.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Interesting bit of weather today. There's a lot of activity well to our south and east. For us, it's a little half and half. Literally, look at this. We're split right in half here. Much colder air to the north, much warmer air to the south and east for high temperatures today. 66 though in Lincoln. That happened at 3 a.m. Usually when we see those warmer temperatures in the early part of the day, it's usually right at midnight. But this one, it actually warmed up to 66 at 3 and then slowly started diving down. We were almost 70 degrees in Nebraska City, but high temperatures in the 30s just off to the north and west. Hey, it's still Severe Weather Awareness Week, so we're going to talk about flooding, flood safety. Thunderstorms can produce heavy rain, so do not drive onto a flooded roadway. Do not drive through flowing water. If you approach a roadway that is flooded, turn around and don't drown. And really the reason behind this, the main reason is floodwaters can sweep cars away. That happens all the time. It's a major reason people die because of floods, is their car just gets swept away. Sometimes though, the water that's running over the road, it looks like the road should still be there, and then once you go in there, you realize that there's no road left because the water has washed it all away. And never try to walk, swim, or play in flooded waters because there's a lot of gross, really nasty, gross stuff in floodwaters. I'll just leave it at that. 84th and O Street, Southeast Community College. Hey, that's coming along nicely. Doing a good job there, guys. What was that, 1, 2, 3 floors? Not bad. Cloudy skies. We had sunshine early in the day, and then the clouds kind of came in and cooled us down. 53 the temperature in Lincoln right now. Still almost 60 in Beatrice. 58 degrees, 56 Fairbury and Hebron. Obviously colder the further north and west you go. The wind has been the big issue today. With the cloud cover, it was warm out this morning. Walked my kid to school this morning without a jacket. Now you need one. Kind of a reverse kind of day, but the wind has been pesky. It's at 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusting to around 40 to 46 miles per hour in Grand Island, 44 in Hastings. We'll zoom out and show you that just about all of us in the 30 to 40 to almost 50 mile per hour range for wind gusts. Scottsbluff at 49 miles per hour. So as we head through the overnight, still a lot of wind for the eastern half of the state, but notice it's coming to an end, and I think by early tomorrow morning, still 30 or 40 miles per hour by Saturday, 7 a.m., and that should be about it. So I think by tomorrow, early in the afternoon, we can finally stop walking without having to lean. There's a lot of snow showers out there for Cherry County, up towards Brown Rock, just south of Keapaha counties, Custer County, Lincoln County, seeing some light snow showers. And again, I had some friends in the Panhandle, friends and family that live in Shattern. 6 inches of snow this morning. So all that snow moves off to the east. By 11 o'clock tonight. It will try to make its way towards Omaha and maybe northeastern Nebraska, and that's about it. I think we start to see the sun come out by Saturday late in the morning, and then look at that. Where did all the cloud cover go? That's it. There's just none left. So your winter weather headlines look like this. Winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings. There's even blizzard warnings up here. This goes all through early Saturday morning. So your temperatures tonight, cold. That cold air will funnel down along with that snow chance to the north. Temperatures in the upper 20s. Cloudy, blustery, mostly cloudy, and that northwest wind at 20 to 40 miles per hour. And then highs tomorrow struggle a little bit, but close to normal. We'll be in the Lower 60s for high temperatures this time of year. That's our normal. We'll be in the middle and upper 50s, maybe some 60s if we can see enough sunshine early enough towards Hebron, Fairbury, and Beatrice. But we'll say 56 in Lincoln. Slow clearing of the sky, and then those winds, the wind finally starts to calm down. That'll feel a lot better. Look at this, Sunday, pick of the week here. 75 degrees with plenty of sunshine for April 2nd. April 3rd cools down a little bit, 60 degrees, then right back to 70 on Tuesday. Then a chance for some showers, and those could linger into very early Wednesday morning. Notice that temperature, 28 degrees. I was thinking about this too. I've been looking at my garden going, you know what, is it time? Is it time? No. Look at that, there's 25 early Thursday morning, 32 early Friday morning, so there's still those freezing temperatures out there, so we have to hold off.
Have you started any in your house in little pots?
I didn't get around to it. I wanted to, but I didn't.
All right, thank you very much, Rusty. A positive day on Wall Street to end the work week. The Dow gaining 415 points, Nasdaq's up 208, S&P adding 58. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
University of Utah senior
one of the most powerful levels of explosions in the universe. This particular one is being called the BOAT, brightest of all time. Tuesday, the space agency announced it clocked a gamma ray burst back in October of last year that was unlike any other.
Wow, scientists say the pulse of intense radiation was so exceptional that it blinded most of the gamma ray instruments in space. They believe a gamma ray blast like this one is so rare it only happens once every 10,000 years.
And here we are, Channel 8, we're telling you all about it because we probably never will again. So there you go. All right, Rusty, final check of the forecast.
I have a feeling the further we go into space, the more once-in-a-lifetime things we're going to see because we've just never seen them before. So what we have seen before, though, is snow and wind and warmer temperatures. We've seen it all, and it all seems to happen on the same day in spring. That's what we have right now. Outside, we've got a lot of wind, and you can see the flags flapping around out there. A mixture of clouds and sun, though, in Aurora. It is a chilly day, though. We've got temperatures kind of all over the place. Look at this, 53 in Lincoln, 58 in Beatrice. So almost 60 in Beatrice, but close to the freezing mark in Norfolk, which isn't that far away. 36 degrees, 48 in York. Aurora with those flags whipping around at 47 degrees, but a west-northwest wind at 29 miles per hour. Here's where the snowfall is at right now. It's the western half of the state, trying to change over to a little light rain in the southwestern corner of the state. Much of the eastern half is just seeing clouds and a peak of sunshine every now and then. So we've got a lot going on through early Saturday morning. Winter storm warnings in pink, winter weather advisories in purple. I'll zoom out and show you that there's a huge area of South Dakota that's under a blizzard warning. That's your red color there. And so is Minneapolis and much of the southern half of Minnesota under a blizzard warning. So, you know, we'll just let them deal with that, and we'll just be quiet over here. 56 chilly degrees on Saturday. I'm calling that cold chilly because it's about 6 or 7 degrees below average. Eventually mostly sunny skies, I think, the second half of the day. 75 on Sunday, warming up. That'll be several degrees above average, about 10 or 12 degrees above average, and then back close to normal on Monday. So cooling down again, but a close to normal day on Monday. Your temperatures as we head through into Saturday, starting off chilly, 28 degrees, 42 by noon, into the middle 50s by 3 o'clock, and then 53 degrees by 6 o'clock in the evening with a mixture of clouds and sun. I think we'll eventually see more sun than clouds. That wind starts to die off. I think it'll be at the highest levels in the morning and then eventually drop down to sustained winds less than 10 miles per hour by the second half.
Those winds look nice. They're tolerable. All right. Thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us.
World News Tonight is up next, and we'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.